Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whenever you hear this message, I pray that you're poised to receive, to accept, and to respond to words of wisdom. Ashe. So it's like every month there's a new opportunity for us to grow and to expand and to mature as individuals and as a community. And right now I want to address this great opportunity that hovers around that single principle of maturity. Okay. And it comes to the fore in response to a picture that's floating around right now of a young lady who's she's bareback and she's wearing nothing but ileke, and she's breastfeeding her baby, and with one hand she's covering up her one nipple basically, and then she's got the baby feeding on the other. And so someone, a Nigerian priestess more specifically, who's practicing, right? she's not a lay person, she's a practicing priestess, and she says this is not appropriate. This is not a proper representation of Isheshe. And so some people, and I'm going to say this is a loud minority. It's important. The reason why I'm addressing this is because this group of people is a loud minority. They have twisted it and contorted it and made it into 4 or 5 other things that have absolutely nothing to do with the very simple critique, which is the presentation of this nude woman with her ileke is not consistent with the values of Isheshe. Now, why are people having a hard time with her making that very simple correction? Because that's all it is. People are struggling with this because we as African Americans, by and large, have come to Orisa on the run. We're like spiritual and cultural fugitives. We're on the run from Christianity. We're on the run from Islam. We're on the run from white supremacism. We're on the run trying to escape all of the repressive conformity that has been imposed upon us to our detriment by the dominant white society. I get it. I get it. But we don't understand the reason why our ancestors have sent us to Isheshe. Isheshe is not a place for us to now do what we like. It's not a place to freestyle. It's a place for us to realize and understand that there is structure and order and systems that are designed for our benefit. Just like the clothes fit us better, the colors, the patterns, the styles and the cuts of the dresses and the suits, they just fit us better. We look better. The culture looks better on us. The family structure looks better on us. The gender roles look better on us. The age and the seniority ranking, it looks better on us. It suits us. The diet suits us better. The music and the dance, it suits us better. That's why our ancestors have sent us there. It's not a place for you to try to dismantle and deconstruct and all of that. The things that you would have done every time you disagree with what the white man is doing and saying, you want to deconstruct it and link it back to racism and blah, 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 blah. That's not what we're doing in Orisa. We're here to learn what is the real structure and the order of our indigenous knowledge systems, and why is it this way, and how can I benefit from it? How can I implement these rules and these structures in ways that are going to benefit me and my children and my children's children's children? That's the attitude and the perspective that we need to adopt. When we were little, let me tell you a story from my childhood. My students have heard this story more than once. I grew up in an all-black neighborhood, and there were literally like 30, 35 kids in my neighborhood. And I'm going to say at least half of us came from single-parent households, raised by our mamas. And I never forget, I was one of those, right? So I never forget, we went over to one boy's house and he had a basketball court in the driveway. And so there was me and there was a boy, Reggie. Me and Reggie about the same size, same stature, same complexion. And we were playing basketball. And Reggie, however, liked to cuss. So we playing and Reggie's cussing. And so Mr. Wilson is inside the house, and like from the kitchen, you could see the driveway at an angle, right? So he didn't have a flush view of the court, but he could see at an angle, and so he could see, who someone who looked like me who was cussing. So he said, "Hey, quit cussing." A few minutes go by, Reggie's cussing again. Mr. Wilson came out and he says, "Hey, I told you." He went straight to me, and he says, "Hey, I told you to quit cussing." And what did I do? I said, "I wasn't cussing." And he says, "Listen, I saw you and you was cussing. And if you cuss again, I'm going to put you over my knee." And I said I wasn't cussing. And ain't nobody going to whoop me but my mama. And then I turned around and started to walk away. I got about 2 steps before Mr. Wilson had me like this. Boom, put me over his knee. And bada, 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 he warmed my little behind up, sent me home. I went home. I was all frustrated and mad. And I told my older sister, and she was all mad. We said, "Wait till mommy gets home." And my mother came home. My mom been working from can't see to can't see. It's the evening. My mother comes home. We tell her as soon as she walks in, "This is what happened. Mr. Wilson did this. My mother, look, she stopped dead in her tracks before she even took her jacket off. Get in the car. Put me in the car. Drove me back over to the Wilsons, knocked on the door, and says, "Apologize to Mr. Wilson." I was stupefied. I couldn't believe the betrayal. But she was dead serious. Apologize. And I apologize. "Mr. Wilson, I am sorry for disrespecting you, and I promise it will never happen again." She apologized, which made it even worse. My mom is apologizing. Oh, she ain't do nothing wrong. Got in the car. Boom. And that was it. I don't think anything more needed to be said about it, because the humiliation and the shame associated was so great that I couldn't believe, that I had subjected my mother to that kind of embarrassment. As a parent, I'm thankful that Mr. Wilson took it upon himself to take responsibility for correcting me. Even though I wasn't the one cussing, I had no business telling Mr. Wilson what he wasn't going to do at his house while I'm playing basketball in his yard every day. It was inappropriate. It was out of line. And I should not have been taking that kind of stance with Mr. Wilson. Young people need older people to keep them in line. Young people need older people to be conservative. Conservatism is what are you conserving? You're conserving your values. You're conserving your way of life. You're conserving the things that are going to serve you and create opportunities for you throughout your existence. That's what you're conserving. Your culture deserves conservation. Your traditions deserve conservation. When somebody corrects you, you accept it. You say thank you. That's why they say, hey, if you correct a wise man, he'll thank you. But if you correct a fool, he'll scorn you. A lot of us are operating in our, adolescent minds. When we get correction from people, we responded like I responded to Mr. Wilson. It's inappropriate. It's out of line. We need to cut it out. We need to assume that elders are looking out for our best interest. We don't have to agree with everything that they say, but we do need to, demonstrate the decorum and the composure to maintain respect and honor for the ones who have gone before us and are making the time and the effort to show us the right way. All right. And so I'm sending this message out, as always, to the leaders. I'm looking for people who are serious about doing what they need to do to improve the world through positive influence. If you're one of those people, then I want you to find out how Oloye Obafemi Origunwa and the Orisa Lifestyle Academy can help you take your practice and your life to the highest level possible. Visit me at obafemio.com or orishalifestyle.com. Let's start working together to help you live the medicine that will heal your life and heal the lives of those who you are destined to serve. I look forward to working with you. Bye for now. Odabo.